Hey Panthers, good morning. It is the 4th of May. Please don't be too mad at Mr. Matt, but we're going to get through some fraction stuff. Um, it's important whether you are in 4th, 5th, or 6th right now. This is all something that we are going to need. So we're going to spend a fair amount of our remaining time this school year working on some fraction stuff. We've done a bit of it. We're going to really hit it hard here in the next few weeks because I want you to head into summer with a really nice base on fractions, feeling good about it. So you will see up here, I've got a couple of fractions. I have not done any with the same denominator. Denominator's the bottom. We know that. You guys can do that when it's the same denominator. We've done it a bunch. So we're not going to backtrack to that. But here, I've got 1/2 and 2/3. I'm going to pause it and draw it out for you. All right, if we look at this, well, they're not the same. We got 1/2 and I've got 2/3. If you think about it in a circle, I always like to think pizzas for my fractions. Down here, 1/2 and 1/4. So what can we do to get them the same to build from there? This is a review. We have done this lowest common denominator. So the first thing we got to do is find our multiples. So I'm going to pause, erase my drawing, and show you these multiples. All right, remember, multiples is just taking that number and multiplying it. Multiply it by 1, multiply it by 2, multiply it by 3, so on and so forth. And as soon as we find the number that's the same, we've got our denominator. So I've got, or a common denominator, I've got 2 and 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Where do I see my common number? Right, with the 6. Right there and right there. So over here, I have 1/2. So I can see 2 goes into 6. How many times? 3. 3 times. So I have 6 on the bottom and 6 on the bottom. 2 goes into 6 3 times. You just told me that. Yeah? So if I do 2 times 3 on the bottom, I need to do 1 times 3 on the top. Little cameo from a small child there. All right. So 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. Does that make sense? Is 3 half of 6? It is. Okay. 3. How many times does 3 go into 6? Well, you told me twice. So if I do it to the bottom, I've got to do it to the top. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, all I have to do is add them up. And we'll worry about improper fractions. We're going to build into that. 3 plus 4 is 7. Common denominator is 6. So I have 7/6. All right? We pause. I'm going to erase this. We're going to walk through this one, and I'm going to send you on your way. It's a little scary, but you're okay. Okay. Both even numbers. That makes it even easier for us, right? 1/2 plus 1/4. Okay? Half. Got my 4th. Okay? But they're not the same. But I can see they're both even. I know that 2 will go into 4. So my common denominator, if 2 is going to fit into that 4, is going to be the 4. Okay? So I'm going to bring over my 1/4. I don't have to change it because my 2 will fit in there. 2 times what is 4? You're right. 2 times 2. If I do it to the bottom, what do I need to do to the top? 1 times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2/4 plus 1/4. 3/4. Okay. I'm going to send you to try this on IXL. Do not get overwhelmed if you start to struggle. But we're focusing on that common denominator. What number can they both go into? And then if we do it to the bottom, we've got to do it to the top. This part is a bit of a review. Don't get overwhelmed. Email or call Mr. Matt on Monday if you're having any trouble. All right.